Hello and welcome to another episode of Underking Pre-Production. This is episode 4 now, and we're going to be going over a track called Red Sun Rises today, which is the working title. And this is a song that I posted a clip of quite a while back actually. It's that Dragon Force inspired power metal type main intro riff. And let's get into it. Okay, so that riff you saw me record in the introduction to the video is the main riff. It's this lead guitar bit here. So this is irregularly set on the lead guitars 1 and 2 because I think it gives it a bit of a different quality. So that sounds like this. As you can hear, that's quite a hammer-on, pull-off riff, which is something I think I haven't done before. So I thought I'd put it in this song, and it's all about the pinch harmonic here, which I think is really fun. So what you guys just saw me record is this verse and chorus lead coming up, which is kind of deceptively difficult actually. I don't know why it took me so many takes to do, but it did. So that sounds like this. And I haven't quite decided whether the lyrics are going to follow this melody or not yet, but that's a decision for another time. But yeah, quite melodic, quite cool, and I think this is a really nice build-up into the chorus. So one thing I get a lot from reviewers and you guys is how real all of these instruments are. And I think the majority of you guys would probably think that it's all recorded, as in live with a real performance. But like I've kind of touched upon in the past videos, the guitar and vocals are live while the rest is programmed by me. And so the bass and the drums are completely computerized. But I don't think a lot of people realise that actually doesn't mean that I've just, pressed generate a drum beat or pressed generate a bass line. I've got to write all this myself, and I don't think a lot of people realise that. So I sit for a couple of hours per track and program every single bass drum beat, snare, cymbal, and change the velocities to make it sound like a real person. And when I send that off to a producer like Adam or Steve, they do even more of that to humanise it. And I think most listeners don't realise that. And I thought a perfect example of that would be this song, because the second verse in this song is completely computerized or completely programmed, and that's a synth, a bass, and the drums. So I'm going to show you that now. So what we've got here is the bass track, the drums, and the synth. So the bass on its own sounds like this. So that's got, it almost sounds real as it is, but I've got to go in and change a few velocities to make it sound as good as possible. So the velocity is this here. So you say, at the moment it says velocity 80%, which is how loud that note plays. And a real bassist would not hit every single note exactly the same strength, which is something you've got to take into consideration when you're programming the bass and the drums. because people don't hit things the same volume every single time. So before I send that to whoever I get to produce the song, I need to go through and manually change most of the velocities in this song with the bass and the drums. So continuing that, the drums sound like this. So at the moment they're pretty even and smooth, which is not necessarily real, but not bad either at the moment. And I think a lot of people question the validity of this kind of songwriting, this kind of electronic programming, particularly bass and drums, in the rock and metal scene, because people think that it loses the human element. But this has been a thing since the late 70s and 80s in terms of pop and other genres. So I really don't think it loses that human element, because I've still got to sit and program the drums and bass and the velocity and write the things that they're playing. It's not like I put, a little code into a computer and it spits out a load of drum beats and bass lines. And it's not like this was my first choice either. I looked for a drummer and a bassist for quite a long time before this project even started, throughout 2019 in particular. And a lot of you guys watching might have even seen the joke that Max is looking for a bassist and a drummer, because every other week I'd put out a post looking for that, and I just never found one. I was very lucky to find Dustin to the vocals on Amongst the Dead, and that was a complete fluke. And drummers and drummers in particular are much more hard to come by these days, because they're already in like 100 bands and you can't just pry them away from someone else. So yeah, that was Red Sun Rises, and I think that was a cool way of closing it out with the doubling of that lead riff over the top of the chorus, and the double up of the riff at the end. So thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with another video. I'll be going over a track called Excalibur, which is the working title of a pretty cool track, I think. And thanks for the response to Dragon of the West, which has been out for a couple of days now, and it really means a lot. Thanks for watching.